we're gonna move on to the next thing. And this is a preview of something that I'm excited about, right? We got Jamel Herring versus Shakur Stevenson. That fight sells itself to real boxing fans. I kicked it to JD the first time. Q, I'm gonna let you have it.
Man, shout out to both of these guys, man. This is one of the tougher fights. I really can't find a favorite of who I would like to win. Previously, I said I think I bet on Shakur Stevenson, man, but after watching the lead up, and I don't watch a couple. I watched the last show, and just seeing him, man. Then seeing them face off. You sent a picture of both of them standing side by side. If I had to bet right now, man, my money would be on Jamel Herring, simplified Jamel Herring, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You know, alumni of the show, man, showed us big love, man. And but real talk, and just I think the big question with Shakur is gonna be just like you talked about before, because you know he don't like to be hit hard, you know, and I think Jamel is gonna put some pressure on him, and Shakur have amazing defense.
Hey Q, how Shakur said it? He hit me with something I ain't like.
Hit me with somebody
in the last fight. I mean?
And he didn't, then he apologized to the fans because that kept him at bay. You know, he's gonna have to take chances in this fight. If you want to win this fight, he's gonna have to come get it. You know what I mean? And so whether he like it or not, what he get hit with, he gonna have to do something about it. When I say do something about it, I don't mean stay there and pop shot. No, bro, you got to come get it, because I think Simplified coming to get it. You know what I mean? You got a decorated Marine. You know what I'm saying? Done been through everything, man. You know, ups and downs, and both of them spar with Buds. You know, we got both of these guys take the sport very seriously, man. I think we in for a real treat. You know what I mean? So, but I bet my money on Jamel at this point, man. But I love them both, and it ain't no boxing fans. It ain't no loser in this one. What you got, JD?
Hey man, I think most definitely. I agree with everything you said, man. There's no loser in this fight. I gotta roll with Jamel Herring too, man. I really am rooting for Jamel to get this victory. I feel like he's put in a lot of work on his craft over the years, and shout out to Shakur Stevenson. I also like him as a fighter as well. I will say this, man. What I think. We all, up in middle age, we not as young as we used to be, 18, 19, 20, 21, so sometimes when these young bucks try you got to introduce them to GMS. And I know y'all listening, y'all probably like, what in the world is GMS? And that's that grown man strength. You know what I mean? It's that grown man strength. That grown man strength is that strength that don't come from the weight room. It don't come from all that running around and different exercises. It's that natural strength that accumulates over years. That no matter when you try that grown man, he still got a reserve of some strength that you don't know that he got. And that's what I think is going to happen on Saturday night when Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson get in that ring.
You think the first round is gonna be an oh shit moment?
Right, exactly.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be one of those moments when that fight starts where I think Shakur is gonna feel some power from Jamel. He can be like, oh man, buddy blasting with some power. Let me be careful, because he got some grown man strength that can knock me silly.
See, and that's what I worry about. I worry about his maturity level and the way he's approaching this fight, and that's Shakur Stevenson. Because one of the things he said was, I'm not worried about his power.
Right.
Deontay Wilder was never worried about Tyson Fury's power because he wasn't known as a knockout artist, right? And I think a lot of times people get caught up in narratives, right? He doesn't have a lot of power. Hey man, look at the knockout percentage. If he's knocked out most of the motherfuckers he's fought, you better watch out, because at the same point in time, you don't know how your chin takes his power. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see how everybody else's chin took his power, but don't you come in there BSing, because I'm reminded of a fight, and I'm going back a little bit in the archives and kind of underground a little bit, but to boxing people, they know these names. Sergio Moore versus Daniel Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the first fight. Sergio Moore is not known. He didn't even have a lot of knockouts. Man, he put Daniel Jacobs right on his ass. And Daniel Jacobs in the post-fight interview was like, I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, this guy doesn't have any power. And so that was one of the things Shakur Stevenson was kind of relying on. This guy, I'll be able to take his punch. But for a guy that
just sent Carl Frampton to the Hamptons, we all witnessed that.
Was that?
He sent Carl Frampton to the Hamptons.
Right. Sent him to the upper room.
Permanent retirement vacation.
Yeah. And so it's to me, for a guy that's not used to getting hit, I would never discredit anyone's power because you don't know how well your chin is yet. And you were on record saying you didn't push the action against a guy that you were clearly more talented than, because he hit you with something you didn't like and he was strong. Well, what the hell you think is going to happen? You moved up a weight class. Guys are going to be stronger. So what you think is not power at 126 or 122, when you get to 130 and you're already talking about, oh, he's a bully that's dropped down from he should be a welterweight, but he's dropping down to 130 to beat up these guys. Well, your ass better be on a swivel, because
Bomac said he got some cooking for him, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He got some cooking for him over there, man.
I worry about not necessarily Shakur's talent. I worry about his mindset coming to this fight, which is why I from the jump, I kind of favored Jamel Herring. And then when I saw the size differential, when I was just kind of getting a gauge of it, because when we interviewed him, I was like, I didn't realize he's 5'10" southpaw. Mm-hmm. Shakur's not just going to be able to lay back. He's going to have to press some action, because just like,
it's going to be a fight.
A lot of fighters who are used to being the bigger person at their division, he's moved up in the division, and there's not too many 5'10" lightweights. I mean, junior lightweights.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and I'll say this too about, Shakur, and we spoke about this when, everything transpired with the last fight where he apologized on IG and all that kind of stuff, and
immature,
and Shakur, does have some immaturity to him, and he needs to develop. It's okay for him to develop as a fighter a number of ways, but I will caution Shakur against this, because he's doing it again with the Jamel Herring fight. Shakur's doing a lot of barking. He's doing a lot of yapping and a lot of barking. And as boxing fans, when you see fighters who do that, you're setting the expectation, Shakur. So when you step out there Saturday night, when everybody sees you in Jamel's face talking all this yap and this, that, and the other, we don't want to hear something after the fight where you danced around and you were pot-shotting and you said, oh, Jamel hit me with something I ain't like, so I had to fade back. That's not what boxing fans want to hear. Now, granted, you might get the victory, but Shakur just has to watch out for setting expectations and then getting in the ring and then not living up to the expectation that he set. Not that people are putting things on him, but he just has to know, you talk that smack, man, you got to back it up a certain way. So if you don't know how the fight's going to go, don't be talking all that smack, man. But we going to see how things go down, man, Saturday night.
And congratulations to Shakur Stevenson and his fiance, man. Beautiful fiance, man. They got they got a new addition on the way, man. You know what I mean? Beautiful stuff, man.
That's the most.
You got to dig deep, baby. You got to dig deep. You know what I'm saying? I know that ad pressure.
That's way more important than any fight. So shout out to him for that. But like I was mentioning in the first topic, there's going to be a grown man in that ring asking him questions he may have never been asked before. Right? And so
in real life, real speed.
Right. Right. And so this is, again, I say this because, not to say, oh, we've been in the ring, we've been fighters before, but we've all been there in the ring for the most part. We all had some point where something tests you, right? Where it's like, you a man? Show me then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could be tired. You could be afraid. You could feel like you're unprepared. But it's like, what are you made of? And I think in a fight, that's always a question. Every round, every second, every footstep somebody takes towards you, it's a question, right? And you got to have the right answer every time, because it could end your night. And one wrong answer can lead to an avalanche of stuff you cannot control once you are on the receiving end on some questions you can't answer. So it's one of those things where I look at it to where, just as a mind state, Jamel's been through a lot. And I think that's one of the things that why the smack talk really doesn't get to him. You know, he is he's a veteran of war, like, you know, bullets flying, like real combat,
real losses,
you know,
real combat, real live combat, life or death combat, you know, yeah, and of course it's serious in boxing, but war is not, you know, to so he could have your hand raised. This is live or die sort of situation. And for him, for Jamel Herring, I think he's lost 2 children as well. So
it's 2. I know he lost 1.
I think he lost 2 kids to SIDS. Yeah, so he's had these questions, hard questions asked to him, to where people have looked at him as a career. Oh, you're the worst guy out of the Olympic team. You're not going to be much. And a point where he
died of his whole career, man.
Yeah, I could have just walked away because I'm expected not to. But when life asked him those questions, he had an answer. The adversity shaped him. And that's what I worry about with Shakur Stevenson. This is the fight where a star is going to be born or it's going to be nipped in the bud before it can even be a thing, because Jamel's going to ask him questions every round. He better be prepared to answer them, because he may not think he has any power. But like I've said this about Tyson Fury, when you get hit with enough of them shits hurt.
Most definitely. Accumulation.